Hello, my name's Helen. I'm one of the women's health physios here at the Rotunda Hospital. You're all very welcome to today's Pain in Pregnancy class. This class is designed for anyone who is experiencing pain in pregnancy, and usually that pain will be around the hips. It can be at the front, it can be at the back, or it can be pain you're experiencing in your legs. This class is designed for your enjoyment, so work at your own level. If you're feeling a bit tired, or if anything's getting a bit challenging, or if you just need a break, feel free to either put me on pause or to stop and do a few stretches. All you need for the class is a mat for the floor, a chair or a gym ball, and make sure you have some water and that you're in a nice, well ventilated room. So either open a window or turn on a fan if you have one. To get started, please sit yourself on either a chair or a gym ball if you have one. Just make sure you can balance safely on it. We're going to start by looking at our posture. So the best way to find your kind of ideal posture is to do some tilts with your pelvis, where you're rocking your hips forward and back and forward and back. So imagine your hips are like a bucket of water and you're tipping the water out all the way to the front and all the way to the back. So do a few of these with me and try get as big a movement in there as possible. And then I'd like you to find the halfway point between rolling your hips all the way forward and all the way back. So for me, that's around there. There's no right or wrong. It's whatever feels about halfway for you. And that is your ideal spinal alignment. In this position, you're also thinking about your head, neck, shoulder placement. So your ears should be over your shoulders, around your collarbone. Your ribs should be stacked over your hips. We'll come back to this postural positioning regularly throughout the class, just to keep you on track in terms of how you're positioning your body. I'm now going to teach you how to do pelvic floor exercises. So the best way to switch on these muscles is to imagine you're stopping yourself from breaking wind and you're squeezing and lifting up and forward towards the pubic bone at the front. Let's do a few of these together in your nice upright posture. So when you're ready, you're going to imagine you're stopping yourself from breaking wind. So you're squeezing and lifting up and forward, and then fully release back down. Let's do that again and work at your own pace. We're going to aim to do around 10 of these together. If you find that's too challenging for you, which very commonly will happen when you're learning to do an exercise, stop and take a break. So let's go together. You're squeezing and lifting up and forward, then fully releasing back down. And let's go again. Squeeze and lift, and then fully release. And again. So keep working on this at your own pace. You might need to slow it down. You could speed it up a little bit. Just make sure when you finish doing your squeeze that you're fully releasing and you're relaxing everything down below before you move on to your next squeeze. Okay, so let's do about 3 more. Squeezing and lifting. Well done. Fully releasing. Last 2. Squeeze and lift. And fully release. And last 1. Squeeze and lift. And then fully relax down. When you're doing these exercises, a few points to watch out for are what we call compensations. So a compensation when you're doing a pelvic floor exercise could be where you hold your breath, or where you squeeze your tummy muscles really tight, or where you squeeze your bum, or you squeeze your legs, or you might hunch your shoulders up towards your ears. Ideally, when you're doing a good quality squeeze, nothing else should be moving. Nobody should really know you're doing a pelvic floor exercise. If you find you're compensating, what I'd recommend you do is either stop and take a break, or remove any distractions that may be interrupting your train of thought. So the next variation of pelvic floor squeeze we're going to do is a long hold. So we're going to squeeze and lift and hold that squeeze for 10 seconds. It takes a little bit of practice. You might only, to begin, be able to do a hold for like 3 seconds or 4 seconds, but this is what we're aiming for you to build up to doing a good long hold for 10 seconds. So let's go together now. So you're squeezing and lifting. So imagining you're stopping yourself from breaking wind and passing urine, and holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then slowly release back down. Now, there's probably a lot of you that will have found that you couldn't hold that squeeze for that many seconds. That's fine, you're building up to it. Let's go again. So readjust your posture, make sure everything has let go. And when you're ready, squeeze and lift and hold. For 1, we're going to go up to 10 again. 3, keep going. As you're holding, look out for those compensations. So have your shoulders come up. If so, let them go. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure your tummy muscles are fairly relaxed. Make sure your legs are nice and soft as well. 8, 9, 10. Gently release back down. And let's do one more set of 10 if you can manage it. Okay, so squeeze and lift and hold for 1, 2, 3. That's it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then slowly release back down. The guidelines recommend that you do these exercises 3 times a day. So what's recommended you do are 10 quick squeezes where you're doing a squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax, up to 10. And then that you're doing a 10-second hold. So you're doing your squeeze and lift and holding that for 10 seconds. Now we're going to talk through some core strengthening exercises. So the best way to switch on or engage these tummy or core muscles is to hug your baby into you. So when you do that, you'll notice that your bump comes in nice and close to you, and it probably lifts up a little bit and away from your feet or the floor. Let's do a few of those together. So you're squeezing and lifting your bump. Make sure you keep breathing, keep the shoulders nice and relaxed, and hold that squeeze. Let's see if we can do a squeeze and hold up to around 10 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold it there. It's okay if it drops a little bit. 8, 9, 10, and then just let it all go. Well done. Let's try that again. We're going to aim to build up to 10 seconds, but as we always say, if you need to take a break or stop, or if the muscles just let go, that's absolutely fine. It's just something we need to work on. So squeeze and lift and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep everything around here nice and soft. 7, 8, 9, 10. You'll probably feel these muscles get a little bit tired now. Let everything relax. Off we go. Let's do another 10. 9, 8. Make sure you're breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then let it all go. If you want a little bit of a challenge to make these muscles work even harder, a really nice way to do that is to add your arms. So you're going to just get yourself into a really nice comfortable position. So your feet and knees are around hip width apart. Your shoulders, ribs and hips are stacked directly on top of one another. You're going to reach your arms out in front of you to around shoulder height, and then you're going to lift your arms up, overhead, and then lower back down. So let's do some of those together. And lower back down. So as you're lifting your arms up and overhead, keep your shoulders nice and soft. Try not to let your shoulders hunch up towards your ears. You're sliding your shoulder blades down towards your lower back. And your options are to either hug baby into you as you lift and reach, and then release as you lower. Or you could hug baby into you and just hold that squeeze. Whatever works best for you. Okay, let's do 3 more of these. Keeping the neck nice and soft. Try not to let your neck and chin poke forward. Keep your neck nice and long. and lower back down. If you wanted a bit of a challenge, you could add some weights to your hands. So you could find something that's knocking around at home, like tins of beans. You might have some light dumbbells. You might even have some stretchy band that you could just hold and lift your arms up and down with. So for a bit of a challenge, we could add a leg movement. So what I'd like you to do is, once again, readjust, check your posture, shuffle forward maybe a little bit on your chair or on your ball. If you are on a ball, it's probably a good idea to have something beside you, something firm and stable that you can hold on to. And what you're going to do is pop your hands down by your side or on your lap, which is a little bit more challenging. And then you're going to engage those tummy muscles. So hug baby into you, making sure you're breathing, softening through the upper body, straightening out one leg, and then releasing back down. Let's do 10 of those together. So point your toes, squeeze that knee into a fully straightened position. 4, 5. And again, you can either hug baby in as you extend, release to lower, or you can just hug baby in and keep hugging and engaging those muscles the whole way through. Let's do 2 more. And 10. Lower down. Let's repeat on the opposite side. Now is a good opportunity to recheck our posture. So maybe do some tilts, forward, back, find that neutral alignment, hug baby into you. And when you're ready, extend that knee and lower down. Extend that knee and lower. Now, if you're someone who's experiencing a bit of pain or discomfort with this movement, just stop and take a break. And you could go back to just doing the isolated tummy squeezes or to the arms. Let's do 4 more of these, fully straightening the knee, pointing the toes, keeping those tummy muscles switched on for the duration or just for the extension and the release. We're now going to move on to some upper back and shoulder mobility exercises. So we'll start off with some shoulder shrugs. So these should feel really, really nice at releasing any tension that you may have around the neck, upper back or shoulders. So you're scooping the shoulders all the way up to the ears and back and around. So your hands can be on your lap, they can be down by your side. Let's change direction. So you're lifting and shrugging those shoulders forward and up and out. Keeping the neck nice and soft, try not let it come into this poked chin position. So you're tucking your chin back, making those shoulder movements as big or as small as comfort allows. Good, and hold there. Now, tuck your elbows into your waist, turn the palms of your hands up towards the ceiling, and we're going to open our forearms out to the side and then come back in. As you're opening your arms out to the side, you're aiming to feel a stretch at the front of your shoulders. So this is your pec muscles. They can get quite tight when we're tired, when we kind of slouch forward into those types of positions that we shouldn't be in kind of for hours on end all day. So you're opening out, feeling that stretch at the front of the shoulders and releasing to come back in. As you're doing this movement, think of squeezing your shoulder blades together at the back. We're trying to avoid any upward movement of the shoulders themselves and trying to get a little bit of opening out through the front of the chest. Let's do 3 more of these. Last 2. Well done. And last 1. Okay, now let your arms drop down by your side. Shuffle forward on your chair or your ball or whatever surface you're on. Open out through the shoulders. Check in with your posture. And now we're going to do some side bends. So this is a really nice way to get some movement into that middle and upper part of the back. So you're sliding down as far as comfort allows. If you prefer, you might want to have your hands on your lap or across your chest like this. If you like, you can add an exhale as you lower down. Inhale to come back up. And try get a little bit more movement into the stretch each time you go down. going to be helpful to add a tiny little bit of a tummy squeeze here, just so you're not kind of over bending. So you have that little bit of support and stability through the core. Good, let's do one more each side. Great stuff. Lovely. Now we're going to do a roll down. So with the roll down, pop your hands down between your legs, move your chin to your chest, and then slowly lower yourself down, reaching your hands towards the floor, and then slowly coming back up, stacking yourself up one vertebra at a time, and opening out through the shoulders. Let's go again. Chin to chest. Imagine you're peeling yourself away from a brick wall behind you, lowering yourself down as far as comfort allows. It doesn't matter how far you go down. Most importantly, you and bump need to feel comfortable. Slowly stacking up again. So your head and neck are the last bits to come up. Let's do 2 more of these, chin to chest. So we're aiming to feel a really nice stretch down our back. Open out your knees a little bit more if you need to. You might even notice that you're getting a little bit more movement each time you go down, which is great. And last one, chin to chest. And off we go again. Well done. We're now going to move on to a series of exercises on our hands and knees. So what I'd like you to do is move yourselves into a 4-point kneel position on a mat, ideally on the floor. As a reminder, the best way to go from sitting to standing, particularly if you're having pain anywhere around here, is to shuffle forward on your chair or ball safely. Have your feet and knees around hip width apart. Take your heels back as far as they can comfortably go. Lean the rest of your body forward. If you have space or something kind of firm on either side of your hips, use your arms to press down, lean forward, press down through your legs, equally weight bearing through right and left. This next series of exercise is going to help strengthen our shoulders, our back muscles, our postural muscles, our tummy and core muscles, and our bum muscles at the back. So once you've found yourself in this position, just check that your alignment is as good as possible. So ideally your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders and your knees are directly underneath your hips. We're then going to add some pelvic tilts like we did earlier on. So you're rocking your hips all the way forward, all the way back, aiming to find that neutral spinal alignment. So we don't want to be all the way down like this. We don't want to be arched up like this. So we kind of want that halfway point. And once you've found that halfway point, hug baby into you to switch on those deep core muscles. Check your neck position as well. Try not let your head and neck kind of fall down. Tuck your chin into your chest, growing tall through the crown of your head. This is a really nice position to start the exercises from. We're now going to add some arm reaches. So hugging baby into you, extend one arm out in front and lower back down. So your options are to alternate arms, so going right to left, or if you prefer, you can stick to the same arm. So you're reaching and lowering and reaching and lowering. So let's do 10 more of these, whichever variation you prefer. Keeping those tummy muscles tight, making sure your hips stay stacked over your knees and your shoulders stay stacked over your wrists. If you want, you could add a little bit of weight into one of your hands. So if you had a dumbbell or a little tin of something, you could do your reach like that to challenge those muscles even further. So I'm using a little weighted ball here. So let's do 4 more. Keep your supporting elbow soft so that it's not locking. Last 2. And last 1. Let's do the opposite side. If you've got a weight, great. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. So hugging baby in, checking your posture, and off we go again. So as per before, you can either engage your tummy muscles as you reach and release to lower, or you can hug baby into you and hold that hug for the duration of the exercises. Let's do 3 more of these. And last one. Now we're going to come into what we call a thread the needle stretch. So to do this, you're shifting your weight over onto your right side, lifting the left, opening out, feeding that through the opposite arm and leg, opening back out again. So your right arm, or the arm that's supporting you, stays nice and soft at the elbow so it's not locked out. If you want to and it feels good, you can inhale as you open out, exhale to feed through. Inhale to open out, keeping those shoulders nice and soft, exhale, feed through. And let's do 1 more on this side. Inhale to open, exhale to feed through. Now we're going to move to the opposite side. So shift your weight slightly over to the left side, soften the elbow, and off we go. Opening out and feeding through. So this is a really nice exercise to get a bit of a stretch into the shoulders, into the middle and upper part of our back, which can often be quite stiff, particularly in pregnancy. Try get a little bit more movement each time you go into the stretch. You're opening out a little bit further if you can manage and reaching through. Let's do 2 more. Inhale to open, exhale to feed through. Last one. And take a break. Before we move on to our next exercise in this same position, let's just go into a nice shell stretch. So bottom down onto the heels, open out your knees, nice and wide so you have space for bump. Reach your arms forward and let your head rest down, either on the floor or the mat, or you could fold your arms over one another and hold that position. Take a few nice, relaxing, deep breaths into your tummy. So big breath in and out. If it feels nice, you could add a little reach with your arms forward, or you could curl your hands from left to right just to get a little bit of a stretch down your waist. We're going to move on to a little bit of glute strengthening whilst we're also working our core. Now, this one's a little bit more challenging, so it's really important that you work at your own level here. Make sure you're not causing yourself any pain or discomfort. So, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. You might want to have your knees a little bit further apart or a little bit closer together. Just listen to your body and make those adjustments as needs be. We're going to start off engaging those tummy muscles, leading with the left leg. You're extending that left leg behind you and then coming back in again. So this is one option. So you're sliding your toes along the mat and then coming back in. As you're doing that extension, I'd recommend that you clench your bum cheeks to extend back, release to lower. Extend to reach back and squeeze, release to lower. Let's do 3 more of these. Keeping the elbows soft. If you need to, you could come up onto your fists. So 3 more. Squeezing through the glutes, last 2. And last 1. Okay, now we're going to do the same on the opposite leg. So readjust your posture. Check your positioning. You might want to take your knees a bit closer together or a little bit further apart. Clench your bum cheek, extend back, release to come back in. Clench to extend back, release to come back in. You might find one side could be a little bit more uncomfortable than the other. So it could be that you just do a smaller extension back. That's absolutely fine. So we're going to do 3 more. And then as long as you're feeling okay, we're going to add a little bit more of a challenge. If this level is working for you and it's quite challenging, then just repeat this same series again. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, we're going to go back to the left leg. And this time we're going to extend the leg all the way back and come back in. So let's do 10 of these. So you're clenching your bum to go back and release to come back in. Let's do 8 more of these. Keeping your tummy muscles engaged. Take a break whenever you need to. This is a lot more challenging than the exercises we've done before. Good, so let's do 4 more. Squeeze the bum to go back, release to come back in. Keep hugging baby in towards you. Last 2. And last 1. Okay, put me on pause, take a breather, have a little drink if you need to. And then once you're rested, we're going to go on to the other side. So adjust your legs, take your knees a bit closer together if needs be. Check your posture once again. Check that your wrists and hands are nice and comfortable. And when you're ready, leading with the right, extend back and come back in. So clenching your glutes to extend, release to come back in. Try straighten out that knee all the way, pointing your toes. And we'll do 5 more. Well done, everyone. 4. Nice and slowly. 3 more. Last 2. And last 1. Now we're going to come down into a well-earned stretch. So open your knees out nice and wide. Feet together. Sink your bottom down onto your heels. And then reach your arms forward into a shell stretch. So keep breathing, nice deep breaths, releasing through your tummy, letting go of any tension through the hips, shoulders, neck. Filling that tummy up with air as you breathe in, and then fully exhaling as you breathe out. Let's do 2 more of those. Big breath in and out. And last one. Inhaling in, exhaling, breathe out. The next exercise we're going to work on is for our bum muscles. We'll also get a little bit of activation of our tummy muscles too. So the position you start in is really important. So ideally, you're lying down like this. If you need a cushion or pillow underneath your head, please go get one. Or if you prefer to be up like this, that's absolutely fine. Some of you alternatively might prefer to be up in this position, but this will actually make the exercise a little bit more challenging. So as always, find the position that's most comfortable for you. Then we want your shoulders, hips, and feet nicely in line. So imagine your feet, your bum, your back, shoulders, and back of your head are all kind of resting against a wall behind you. Then you're going to do some pelvic tilts.
So rocking your hips forward, back, finding that neutral alignment. Hug baby into you really, really gently just to help you hold yourself into this good position. And then we want a tiny gap in your waist. So just enough, imagine you had a little grape in the gap in your waist, so you don't want to squash that grape. So you want a little bit of a lift there, just so you're not completely flat. Now, in this position, it can be quite a challenge, especially when you have a lovely big bump. So what I'd recommend is that you get a cushion or pillow to support your bump here. And when you're ready, we're going to move into our clam, which looks like this. So you're separating top from bottom knee. This arm can be on your hip, or it can be resting in front of you on the floor or on the mat. So ideally, as you're lifting that top knee, you're clenching your bum cheeks to lift, releasing to lower. So clench to lift, release to lower. Work at an opening amount that feels comfortable for you. So it might be that you're just lifting a tiny bit, or it might be that you have no pain, no discomfort, and you can open your legs a little bit wider. What we don't want is for you to open your leg really wide and for your hips to roll back. So you're keeping your hips directly stacked on top of one another. Let's do 5 more of these. And ideally, you're feeling the burn here, around where the back pocket of a pair of jeans would be if you had a pair of jeans on. So let's do 2 more. And last one, squeeze to lift, release to lower. Well done. Give your bum a bit of a massage if you need to, and have a little break before we move on to the opposite side. If you're feeling up to it, a really nice progression would be to straighten out that top leg and to lift and lower. So imagine your heel is sliding along a brick wall behind you. So keeping your tummy muscles engaged, lifting that leg as far as you can comfortably go. Again, don't cause any pain, discomfort here. Let's do 5 more of these. Feeling these muscles working here. Keep that top hip slightly forward, just so that you don't kind of roll back on your hips, which often happens when you do this exercise. Keep that knee fully locked out, nice and straight. Let's do last 2. And last one. Well done. So now we're going to have a little break and do the same on the opposite side. We're going to repeat that series on the opposite side now. So to recap, hug baby in, support underneath your bump if you need to, pop a cushion pillow between your knees or between your ankles, check that your feet, back, shoulders and head are all in line at the back. Top hand can be here or it could be here in front of you. If you want, you could add a bit of a weight to add a little bit of resistance to challenge the exercise a bit more. So I've got a really kind of light weighted ball here. Use anything that you may have at home and you can just rest it down onto the top leg if you want that extra bit of a challenge. So when you're ready, you're going to lift that top leg and lower. So squeeze your bum cheeks to lift, release to lower. Squeeze to lift, release to lower. Keep that top hip nice and steady. Try not let it kind of roll back with the movement. Keeping the ankles together. Squeeze to lift, release to lower. So we should be feeling this part of our bum cheek burning or warming up at least. Let's do 4 more of these. Squeezing, letting go. Keeping baby hugged into us to keep those muscles switched on. And last 2. Great. And last one. Okay. Change the position of your head, neck, shoulders if needs be. Then we're going to straighten out that top leg. If you're up for a challenge, if everything is feeling good, otherwise, lift that top leg and lower. And lift and lower. Remember to keep that tiny gap on the underneath part of your waist. Well done. Don't push into any pain or discomfort. Let's do 5 more of these. Keeping that knee nice and straight. Last 3. Last 2. Well done, guys. And last 1. Lower down. Have a little rest. Thank you all for attending our pain in pregnancy class. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you've enjoyed it a little bit as well. If you're looking for any more information from physiotherapy, please have a look at the resources we have on the Rotunda website.